Hello, everyone, and welcome back once again to another little episode of Learning and Loving on the Talking Stick. I'm Jess, just like every day, different shirt, different day, same lady. Anyhow, yes, I just want to say again, I'm really enjoying all my new styles from the people I work for. This is not a paid advertisement or anything. I'm just really loving my new styles, and this is another sweater. All week I've been wearing clothes from them, so this whole week I will be wearing my new styles. And so this one is so comfy cozy. It's a butter sweater, very thick and soft, nice sleeves, nice open bellying sleeves. And this cute collar. I just really love this one. I'm so warm and so cozy. I had another really great sweater on the other day that was really awesome. So anyhow, Sadie and Sage the label. You can find them online. Just look them up. I believe we do have some online stores, but it's mostly boutiques that carry and major department stores that carry our brands. And the lines. So this is our holiday, some of our fall and holiday gear. But anyhow, all right. Today we're going to do something a little bit different, and I actually saw this or learned a little bit more about this actual subject not too long ago on one of our other, discussions, and kind of put it in the back seat for another day. And I thought it might be good to kind of bring this up today. It's just kind of a fun one. It might not be too long. I don't know. You know how I am. Sometimes it's I just chatter on, and sometimes I'm pretty to the point. So let's roll and see what happens. Tomorrow will be another tarot reading, so stay tuned for that. Let me know if you guys are digging it. I really dig it, and I know that not everybody does, but let me know. So, all right. Let's see, the 12 universal laws. So what in the heck are they? Universal laws are considered to be the immutable and eternal laws. They are laws by which both external and the internal world operate. Unlike the laws invented by man, the universal laws are unchanging, unbreakable, and never up for negotiation or interpretation. They do not evolve, they simply are. So I relate this to the general logic. I don't know how many people took this in college, but I think it was so invaluable. They should teach it in high school. Crazy invaluable. So I'll likely next week do general logic, so you guys stay tuned for that, because it's so interesting. Believe me, I waited till the last semester to take that of my general ed, to get through all my general ed, and because I was but it was so cool and so valuable and so useful. Stay tuned for that. But I thought this was in some way relatable, but kind of maybe more on a little bit of a spiritual level instead of a philosophy. So, it's important to understand that the universal mind, or the God force, is devoid of judgment. It takes no moralistic view of our lives and how we choose to lead them. The universal laws do not belong to any religion or philosophy. They are each as impartial as universal and as universally applicable as inescapable as the law of gravity. So, that's a good way to relate it. It's just it's not something that, anybody can change, and it isn't if you're good, this happens, but if you're bad, So it's just really relative to everybody. So that's why I thought it would be super interesting. So, the 12 universal laws have no time or place of origin. All ancient cultures intuitively knew of them and orchestrated their lives and activities around them. The 12 universal laws are sometimes associated with, with a variety of ancient practices from, the Ho'oponopono practice in Hawaii, and then also Egypt. And so the only thing we can be sure of is that they have been known to man for eons and have generally withstood the test of time and location. So number 1, the law of divine oneness. The first universal law is the law of divine oneness. It governs and underpins the rest of the 12 laws. The law of divine oneness dictates that everything in the universe is interconnected. There is no separation, okay? So I love this. This is kind of, the theory that I'm holding upon with this channel, to try to create that oneness between us. I feel like if I'm interested in these subjects, then I can't be alone. And we are all now connected via not just our energies and our hearts and our humanity and the earth, but the internet. Woo! So this means that everything we say, think, believe, give off, and do impacts the people, environments, and wider universe around us. Okay? The law of vibration. And this, again, like we were just talking about chakras, and so this actually has relevance to that as well. The second of the 12 universal laws is the law of vibration. A vibration is a movement of energy in a circular pattern. Now, if you want to know more about energy, please go back. I did do an episode. It may have been a live. I can't remember which one, but it's on my page. And there is a whole episode on energy and vibration. Okay, so that actually gives you a little more information on this topic. So the law of vibration dictates that everything in the universe is imbued with a unique energy, a unique power, a unique and specific vibration, which is essentially the spiritual equivalent of a thumbprint. Everything, every thought, every person and creature emits a vibrational frequency, much like a radio emits and picks up invisible signals. So again, yes, this week I have already mentioned this, like we have radio waves, we have microwaves, we have internet of things that are not visible. So in relationship to the chakras yesterday, it was very much that 3D, 5D reality, the unseen things around us, but still very, very real. When we are around other people, animals, or objects, we are able to pick up on their frequencies. Some frequencies will vibe well with our own, while others will repel, and that's an individual thing. So what vibes with me may not vibe with you. But, generally high vibrational beings will love high vibrations. And, have you heard the saying, somebody, somebody's demons, can't stand your light? Like my ex was like that. He was a very, very dark person. And at first it wasn't very, it was sort of palpable, but not really. He did a very good job as a narcissist and sociopath of putting on something different. But my light irritated his demons like no other. You know what I mean? So basically what that means is that there was a disharmonic, because I had a much, higher frequency than he did, right? So, and that, again, not higher doesn't always mean better. It just depends on who you are and where your own frequency is at. So opposites don't always attract when it comes to energy, right? So the law of correspondence. The next universal law we will look at is the law of correspondence. This law is the link between the physical and spiritual realm. The law of correspondence dictates that everything in the physical world has a corresponding counterpart in the unseen world of light, vibration, and energy. In other words, the physical world is a tangible expression of the spiritual world, and both work according to a similar logic and a similar set of principles. Wow, connecting again to what we discussed yesterday with the chakras, how the lower chakras are sort of your 3D, 5D, and they connect through the heart bridge, right? So this is also talking about that. Our own inner and outer beings are linked in the same way. Just as the physical world we live in is a physical expression of the spiritual world, so our physical bodies are expressions of our souls. According to the law of correspondence, we can heal our minds by healing our bodies and vice versa. Although it is not yet fully understood, modern medicine acknowledges that there is a link between the mind and the body. When someone is suffering from depression, physical exercise can be good. It is well known that a lot of people who suffer will actually make that a part of their daily, to help themselves not have such a mental strife and a condition with mental suffering. So physical well-being really, really influences the mental and emotional well-being. Sympathetic magic, from voodoo to English folk magic, works according to the law of correspondence, wherein a physical object is used as a vessel for magical working. The Hermetic aphorism puts it succinctly: as above, so below, as within, so without. Very nice. Very nice. The law of attraction. Now, this is something that's actually been, pretty, talked about in The Secret. But our vibration works as a frequency that magnetizes to us that which is similar, of a similar vibrational frequency to our own, right? So generally, like I was just saying, when it comes to frequency, opposites attracting is not always, what happens. Now, you can still be manipulated by a low vibe as a high vibe, because there'll be an energy vampire wanting to siphon off of your vibration, which is possible, and level up themselves energetically in a way, because they cannot do that for themselves, okay? So we're talking, and that's not just low vibe like I'm sad, that's low vibe, which again, that can be work. If you're sad and you get around one of your good friends who's really happy, a lot of times that can help you raise your own vibration, right? It's vital to learn how to vibrate at the frequency as the dreams or the things we wish to manifest, okay? So they always say, if you want something, vibrate at its frequency. So you want to become a vibrational match to the things that you desire. The law of attraction asks us to heighten our awareness of what kind of energetic communication we are sending out into the universe on a daily basis. Much of what we are sending out is likely subconscious, though. Learned patterns of thoughts and attitudes that don't match what we really want to experience. So, again, be aware of how you're thinking and perceiving life, because it will manifest in that same vibration. Learning how to reprogram your subconscious and lift your vibration to become a match to your dreams is what the law of attraction is all about. Okay, so the law of inspired action, number 5. This law dictates that action must be applied in order to manifest tangible results, events, experiences, and achievements. So now this takes your manifestation and your energetic value, your vibration, to the next level. So not only do you have to vibrate, at an equivalent frequency, but it's super important to actually take action in accordance as well. So all of the good intentions are worth very little without action, right? So we exist in a physical reality, so you are required to actually take action. You can't just sit around and pray for something, but never ever work toward it in the physical realm, because you've got your own 51%, and that's part of my own little theoretics. I call it the 51% theory. It's you are responsible for 50%, okay, of anything you want in the world. And then you have 1% faith that the universe will cover that 49%, meet you in the middle, and you'll achieve. So, yeah, action is what builds a bridge from what is possible to what is real. Sometimes it can be scary and take a lot of guts, but it's definitely not an option. Action is key. Okay, number 6, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. This law dictates that energy never disappears, it only changes form and expression. Nothing sits still, and everything is in a constant state of flux. So this actually promises that if we change our vibration, then we can change the direction of our lives. Pretty simple, right? So for me, as I'm getting out of this really toxic low vibe relationship that luckily didn't last that long, I'm really doing a lot to help myself as far as cleansing my body, drinking my green drink, getting enough sleep, taking all my herbs, and really believing in my life and doing this show. This is part of me, doing that, trying to, take action towards a better vibration. Learning for me really raises my vibration. So, I thought I'd share that with you guys, and hopefully you can raise yours too. It's not just having awareness of the negative or limiting patterns that we are expressing. It's deciding to just switch them over, But first, we have to be able to be aware, And so you have to make those decisions, become aware, and, then you have to actually take the action of the aforementioned. You're never really stuck. If the desire is there, you can and should use the principles and laws provided to us by the universe to change and evolve. Ooh, ooh. Love this. I love this topic. This is fun. really learning myself. I'm like, ooh, this is all seems to be inherent. Like I've learned all this, but not as, just through living life, as someone who, again, really does want to stand in the light of the universe and be a steward of, action for it, and have been for quite a long time now. That doesn't mean you don't fall down. That doesn't mean you don't have pitfalls to learn from. That just means that you really do want to live in accordance with the universal laws. And like, this is amazing because I never even, or the universal intention, and be that steward and representation as a human being of cosmic and divine energy. And, so you work to be better and work to be, a greater vibration and healthier, and teach others and share what your individual path, because we all can teach what we've learned. No one learns the same things. It doesn't matter. I'm not even talking about school. I'm talking about the things you live your life by. So this is super beautiful to me. So obviously the law of cause and effect, this is, pretty obvious. It's the ethereal equivalent of a rock dropped into a calm body of water. Ripples will spread outward in every direction. Your words, actions, thoughts, and beliefs all work the same way. Everything has, every cause has an effect, and every effect has a cause. Pretty simple. The law of compensation decrees, number 8, that there is no such thing as a thankless work. If you put out good energy, you will be compensated. Because the universe is not linear, the compensation due to you may not come immediately or directly. Your compensation may not come from the same source into which you pour your energy, time, and effort, but it will come. The law of compensation promises that your reward will always be equal to the energy you have put in. And so if you want to enjoy greater reward, you need to first ramp up the amount of energy and action, right? So these all like kind of work into each other. Keep in mind that your compensation may not be financial, as the currencies invented by man is just one of many, many forms of recognized values by the universe. Your reward may come in the form of a great monetary abundance, but could also come into your life as a form of great love, adventure, or healing. Beautiful. I love that. The law of relativity. I love this one. Like, I sort of use this term a lot, It's relative. According to the law of relativity, everything in the universe is neutral. It is only our opinions that determine whether anyone or anything is good, bad, lucky, unlucky, and so on. The universe doesn't make such distinctions. From the point of view of the universe, it is all just different forms of energy. In other words, the universal mind has no moralistic view on our lives. It doesn't grade anything as sinful, wrong, correct, or incorrect. It is impartial, free of dogma, religion, and philosophy. So this is what I think is so beautiful, and I really do feel like all religions are different interpretations of the same, sort of source, God, or energetic, universal energy. And it's just relative to different cultures on the planet at different times with different experiences. And so they're trying to explain the same thing, but from different perspectives, right? So the law of polarity. The law of polarity dictates that all things exist on a continuum. See, I'm telling you, there's so many terms of logic. Like, I can't wait to talk about logic with you guys so you can see how this relates. But I was so blown away in school about logic, because there is the fallacy of the continuum. So yeah, okay. So all things exist on a continuum, and that everything has has its equal and opposite. Polarity is observable all around us, day and night, summer and winter, male and female, cold and warm, ebb and flow, and the negative and positive side of a magnet. According to this universal law, we have range. We have within us a vast spectrum of possibility, and if any given time we are capable of expressing, say, lack and dysfunction, we are also capable of expressing and experiencing the opposite. So again, it's perspective a lot of the time, right? So this is a lot about like your perspective. Within every experience, you will have this law of polarity existing. We are much more than what we are at any one given time. We may currently be experiencing a state of lack, a state of confusion or weakness, but we also have within us the equal and opposite qualities of abundance, clarity, and personal power. All right, digging it. Okay, the law of gender, number 11. This law talks about the two primary forms of energy running through the universe and of all of its creation. There is the masculine energy called yang and the feminine energy yin. It's a really complex, concept, and all things, plants and creatures, resonate either one or the other on a fundamental level. Of course, with this law of polarity, gender exists on a continuum, and at one end of the spectrum could not exist one without the other. The polarities of male and female are what create new life, as both masculine and feminine energies and biologies are required for the creation and continuation of life. There are some really kind of rare, beings that can self-create, but mostly you do need one of each. It is the perfect harmony and also the friction between the male and the female energies which create motion and continuation. In order to find balance and harmony, it is important that we find our balance point between yin and yang as a singular human. In order to be complete, we need to make space for both in our lives, rather than be one extreme or the other, or shutting one out, demeaning or denying its existence, as we often see in sexist cultures where anything feminine is mistakenly seen as weak or inferior. According to the law of gender, the feminine is not inferior to the masculine. It is simply opposite, but equal. Okay? So the final law is the law of giving and receiving. So, the law of giving and receiving sometimes is referred to as the law of karma. Although karma is a concept that doesn't feature explicitly in any of the 12 universal laws, the law of giving and receiving dictates that what goes around comes around. Pretty plain. That what you send out will come back to you. By nature. Nobody needs to go out and find some way to retribution and all that. People will get theirs. Believe that. Giving and receiving is not simple and direct. It is not transaction-based. You cannot, for example, expend lots of energy and love on one person and be sure that you will receive the same amount of love and energy back from them. Oftentimes, the energy that we send out to the universe returns to us via an unexpected source long after or even before, because, the universe doesn't work on this linear reality. It's much more complex than that. So, we sometimes before or long after we send it out. Oh, look at this. Time is not linear, and the law of karma operates on a grand level. As I was just saying, I didn't even get to that part yet. Karma does not balance the books at the end of the day, but rather it evens itself out over the course of a lifetime. People often note how bad people may get away with their wheelings and dealings. I was just talking about this with my friend last night. But the law of giving and receiving dictates that that what they give out, they will receive. Maybe not today or this year or this decade, but what goes around comes around, indeed. So this is not always obvious when we only look at a surface level or singular experiences or even a succinct, line of experiences. But, it's over a series of chapters in an entire book, not just one chapter, one page, or one sentence, right? So, okay, I think that was so interesting. I hope you guys did too. I hope you learned something from it, because to me, it's like all of these things I just seem to have innately somehow learned for the most part, or want to believe in, or think are even logical. But to see them written as universal laws, I thought was amazing. So I really wanted to share that with you guys. And it can be applicable across any belief system, any religion, any philosophy. It really is universal, right? Okay, so I really appreciate you guys, and I hope you're enjoying the channel. I'm really doing my best to come up with really diverse topics, and of course I am me, and what I find interesting may, again, have lines, and so I hope that's still interesting to you guys. And tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and throw down another reading to see how that's kind of rolls with you guys. So each week I'll do 1 or 2 readings per week, depending on, the subjects, and whether it's, the subjects that fall in a continuum. Pretty soon we're going to do one on psychedelics, so we'll do a few different psychedelic drugs and a Terence McKenna, and the sort of the people who have really, really driven the psychedelic, presence in our society over time, the merry pranksters and all of that. So I look forward to that. I don't know when that'll be, but that's an example that it may be that I may do 4 episodes or even 5 and not really do tarot that week. But I think tarot's a little bit fun, and I really enjoy it, and I've been doing it for 30 years. So I just want to share it with you guys as a tool to maybe help you in some way. Okay? Alrighty, guys. Well, I'll be back for that reading. And thanks again. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment. Email me at the talkingstickcollective@gmail.com. Love to hear from you. I also have a phone number now, 442-529-2333. If you want to text me, I would love it. Please be kind. And please understand that if you do message me from a blocked number, I will not respond. But if you'd like to text, that's my primary thing, is I'd love to text with you guys and form relationships and that. And so if it's abused, I may remove it, but hopefully it won't. Hopefully it'll be another tool that we can connect with each other on, and that would be amazing. So, alrighty, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for being here. Love you. Bye.